Hey listeners, Hit the Books podcast is available wherever you get your podcasts, including Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, and more. Be sure to tune in each week and like, rate, and subscribe.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Season 2, Episode 35 of Hit the Books, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of sports and sports gambling. Each episode, we break down the latest news and trends, provide analysis, and offer up our best bets and betting advice. So let's hit the books this week. Like I said, this week we are deep into the NHL and NBA playoffs, so we're making sure to touch on every point in those leagues. Also, some huge news out of the NFL. Jets and Packers agree to terms, so we will dive into that as well. Also, a super special guest, Megan, a VIP host at a top-tier sportsbook. We're extremely excited to chat with her today. So why don't we jump in and introduce my co-hosts this week. Ace, not with us. He is at the Bruins game, so good for him. But Huff and Mackie here with me. Huff, let's start off with you. What's happening, buddy?
Yeah, what's going on, everyone? Happy to be back. Like I said, last week, NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs, kind of top of the mind right now. A lot of these series have been heating up. A lot of stuff going on in the NBA. Some of these series coming to a close. NHL, we have a lot of Game 6s and 7s coming up to end off the rest of this week, and I'm really looking forward to it. But I'll hand things back over to you.
Good stuff, Huff. Love to hear from you here another week. Mackie, let's shoot over to you. What do you got for us this week, buddy?
Yeah, like you said, like Huff said, just playoffs getting into the full swing of things, getting towards the end of the first round. NHL playoffs really starting to heat up, so all that's going on. Getting excited for this guest that's coming on. That's about it.
Yeah, we're all very excited for this guest. This guest is going to be very interesting. Lots of interesting stuff in her life that we would love to cover. So we'll jump into that shortly. All right, and we have some big news coming up for Hit the Books. We are hosting a DraftKings prize pool for the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. You don't want to miss your chance to participate and win big with a $1,500 prize pool for the top 3 winners of the pool. Free to enter, and the link will be available the second the NHL Stanley Cup Finals matchup is determined for all of you to join. So make sure you wait and follow us for that link. We'll be firing on all cylinders for that. We're really excited about this promotion with DraftKings, so lots to look forward to for that as well.
Yeah, that's definitely some big news, getting to work with one of the bigger sports books in DraftKings. So definitely going to want to join this. Like Jesse said, it's going to be a Stanley Cup Finals pool. Going to be, Jesse, you said 10 questions, I believe?
Yeah, something about that, I believe, from what I understand.
So you answer so many questions, top 3 winners are going to split or take home $1,500 if there's one winner. But total prize of $1,500. Definitely excited to do our first kind of pool like this and see how it goes. So definitely show the support on it. We're going to get that out there on all the social medias and get that sharing around. So definitely be sure to join that, and definitely don't want to miss that, because that's going to be hopefully one of the followers wins. Obviously, we're going to post it everywhere, but definitely really looking forward to that. When we got that news, that was big news. So especially couldn't have picked a better event to do it for than the Cup Finals. So I'm really excited for that.
And now it's time for our interview with Megan. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare to be blown away as we bring an extraordinary guest to Hit the Books podcast. Today, we're joined by Megan, a Philly sports fanatic who's living out the dream as a VIP host for one of the country's top-tier sports books. She's got the perfect trifecta of sports love, betting expertise, and a life filled with captivating stories that will have you hooked. Megan's here to share her insight knowledge, hilarious stories, and winning predictions with us today. So without further ado, let's jump into our interview with Megan. Take it away, Siggie. What's happening?
That was great. That's my next ringtone.
Hell yeah. I love that.
That was good. Yeah, that was great. Because growing up, I commentated for softball. Like when a batter was up at the plate,
That's hype.
Sometimes when I'm at the Phillies games, I start yelling. It's bad.
I love that.
What was the
No,
question?
that's a good start.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, yeah. Why don't you start off? Tell us a little about yourself. Give our viewers a little insight. We all have a good idea of who you are, maybe, but give us a shout.
Yeah. Well, I'm Megan, nicknamed Siggie. One time I was at a frat party in high school and I saw everyone in the garage smoking cigarettes, and I had the privilege to go to a store down the street and buy cigarettes. So the next party I went to, I bought 5 cases of cigarettes. I would just sell them for $1. So everyone started calling me Siggy. And then it was like Sigs inside because we were smoking inside the garage, and my last name's Sigmund. So I was like, oh, that works. So Siggy. And then I went to Stockton University. It's a in-state college in Atlantic City here. And I took casino classes, and I just always like loved, I don't know, the casinos, being out there. So I graduated with a degree in hospitality. I was a swim coach for a little bit. I taught little kids how to swim. I was a swimmer myself. So it was more like a summer high school job. And I ended up working and managing all the pools, like at Borgata, like pools.
That's
And
interesting.
so I did that for a year. And then COVID came. I didn't work. And then the next year, I went back and I did the pools for 3 months. And then I did housekeeping for 3 months. I was a manager of housekeeping. And then I got called down to food and beverage. So I was managing beverage of like all of the bars and clubs inside Borgata. And then one day a guy over at the BetMGM side came up to me. This was like in January. And he's like, do you ever want to be a host? And in my head, I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to be like a casino host one day. So like on property casino host. And he was like, no, it's going to be like sports betting. So I had to like basically shift my whole brain into focusing on just sports betting, which I'm so glad I did, because the brick and mortar casinos, they've hit their tier, But yeah, so that all happened within like, I want to say like 10 months, 9 months. It was insane.
And so
It was.
I don't mean to cut you off there, but before you got the opportunity to go into the sports gambling world, were you interested in like I know you said you've been a big sports fan your whole life. Have you been into the sports gambling idea? Like, did you understand it before you kind of got offered that into that world?
Yeah. So I was managing my main like restaurant was BetMGM, like the sports book, and then level 1 high limit lounge. So it was a high limit lounge, and then it became like a in-house like lounge for the book, So
Yeah.
those were my 2 main restaurants. So I kind of knew a little bit about sports betting because we would have like high limit clients that like lived in Borgata and would all like have like their own sections of the books.
You were
and
just
then,
surrounded
you
by
just
it.
see people coming every weekend. So, like they would tell me a thing or two, but I wasn't even interested. I didn't, because there's no sports betting host on property. It's just the director of the book.
Interesting.
So I never even thought I didn't even know it was a thing. But I always liked sports. Like I always went to games growing up with my dad. I saw the Phillies win the World Series in 2008 when I was like 9 years old.
That's sweet.
But
so I guess that
yeah,
kind of
I
leads.
don't remember it.
I get that. That kind of leads into our next question for sure. So like, what are your favorite things to bet on? So you say you go to Phillies games all the time, things like that. But like, what are your favorite leagues, your favorite bets to take?
Oh, live baseball for sure. Like being at the
Live.
game, there's nothing different than, like, I can't tell you how many times I go to the game and I like will do like Brandon Marsh get 2 or more hits and he just boosts the home run. Like, you know what I mean? Or when it's like the bottom of the 9th. This was on the second day against the Reds. It was the 8th because opening day was on the 7th. They were down by 2 in the 9th. Like the under was it was the first inning and the last inning where the Reds even got a hit. I'm right behind the Reds dugout and I'm just yelling, like acting obnoxious. They're up on the bag. They get a hit, person on first, get a hit, person on first and third, no outs. I'm yelling at the Reds team, like, no outs, bottom of the 9th, put on first and third, So like obviously in that inning, like I ripped the money line at like plus 700, plus 800 odds. But it's just always fun, like watching your
That's
bet
awesome.
hit,
Seriously.
I feel like you get better. I feel like you get better intel when you're at the game too. You just like see everything that goes on, especially when you're on the dugout. You can probably hear some things too. So that's cool.
Oh, they were just so annoyed with me. But I went out, Duquesne University, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duquesne, like it's out near you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
their basketball games because they're D1, but they're very low level, and because
Yeah.
I've bet them, and I've never not won a bet. And I went there, I went to 4 games. I never not won a bet
That's
out
hype.
there.
I
Live.
meant to ask you that because I remember you seeing something you posted about Duquesne in the past, and I think it was during obviously college basketball season. And I meant to ask you that because I knew you were from the Jersey area and like didn't go to school at Duquesne, so I always wondered like what was your connection with that, or but is that it? Is it that simple? You just always thought they were a good team to bet on, or
No, I had some friends out there that like
okay,
went all the time.
okay,
They had tickets, so I would go to.
okay.
Usually every time I went to a Steelers game, I would go out there for work to go to all the Steelers games.
Very
I
nice.
would go like stop and go to a game.
Can't complain about that at all. Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously I've seen you post some cool stuff on your social medias and where you've been in your whole career, but tell me who's probably the coolest person that you've had the chance to meet that you never thought that you would have the chance to meet.
Like athletic wise.
Whoever.
I would say yeah, sports industry, or I mean, it doesn't have to be, maybe one of each if you have someone that comes to mind, but
Well,
just curious.
so it's weird because there is a specific football player that was at my casino. I can't say his name, unfortunately. Um, he was at my casino, and the only reason that BetMGM came up to me was because they saw me talking to him. And he was in my high limit lounge, and all I asked him was how his food was. Oh, like, oh, are you up? Or like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. And
Yeah.
they saw me with him, and then like that's kind of how that happened. But I did run into Michael Irvin out in Pittsburgh, which is like so ironic. And I honestly didn't know who he was like that. Like I heard of him before, but like I wasn't watching like NFL Network like that to like where the point where I would recognize him right away, you know?
I get
Yeah.
that.
But I ended up having a video on ESPN. So like he helped me out a lot.
That's awesome. Yeah, the one video you sent me of you guys in the lobby I was cracking up. I'm like, that's just so ironic. It looked like you were in the total just like hotel lobby, like
Yeah.
wherever it happened to
We
be. But
when you know how you go when you go to like a Steelers game, you can't get an Uber to pick you up. So
of course,
I would just always walk at Rivers. And so
good
I was
call.
out there with one of my coworkers. It was Christmas Eve, and it was taking forever, like for Ubers and stuff. So we're like, let's just go to the Rivers and have a drink, whatever. And we're at the bar, and we see him walk in, and he's like looking for a drink, but in like PA, it's like 1:30, like no drinks. So then he leaves, but like we're just sitting there drinking, and my coworker's like, oh, we missed him, like shucks, whatever. So we ended up going outside, finally get our Uber, and he's still out there like taking pictures and shit. And
The good old bus lobby of Rivers Casino.
yeah, my coworker wanted to get a picture with him, and I started talking to his Uber driver. So when he landed in Pittsburgh, he called the first Uber he could to get him to the hotel, and he basically had this dude just drive him around the whole weekend. Like it was cool. It was like this like University of Pittsburgh student, junior. I don't think he's from the country, so he wasn't able to go home for Christmas. He doesn't know how big Michael Irvin is.
Right.
Gorman's like, oh yeah, just drive me around the whole week. You know, I'll give you anything you want.
That's so cool to be that kid. No, not you don't even know who that is either.
Right. And he's like, yeah, everywhere we go, everyone just comes up to us.
Jeez.
So we ended up talking, and we were staying at the same hotel, the Fairmont. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm staying there too. So the Uber driver ended up taking me, Michael Irvin, my coworker, and me back to the Fairmont.
Oh dang.
And then that's where we got our pictures and stuff because one, like we didn't want to take a picture in front of the casino. You know, like we worked for a different casino. We didn't really want to, but it just worked out. And it was hard because he had to do pictures outside because he couldn't, like, the NFL can't know he was like in Red Rivers or something. So, I mean, what does it matter now, right?
I got one. What's your favorite live event you've ever been to? I know you've been to a lot of like big events that you said that you've gone to. And yeah, just like what's your favorite event that you've been to in person? Best memory.
My favorite event? I think it has to be when the Phillies won the pennant.
This year or last year?
I was working a suite. It was raining. You know, obviously I wasn't in the rain, but it was raining, just like a really ugly day, and they won the pennant, which was cool. And then I walked across the street and watched the Flyers get shut out by the Ducks. That's cool.
Dang.
Classic Flyers.
Yeah.
Classic. I went to like 10 games. They always lost by one or more. No, two or more. Sorry, two or more.
Sounds
Never,
about right.
never covered the +1.5.
I was
And
gonna
then
say
on-
just take the other team.
Right. Even and then their last game at home, I took them -1.5, and they won, but they didn't hit the spread. I was like, oh, yeah. I thought like it was like today is the day, you know. That's how I thought of it. I watched
You always
like, the
feel that
Penguins
way.
beat down the Flyers. The Bruins came through, beat the record at the Wells Fargo. It was awful.
Well, why don't we? I guess we can jump into a little NHL here. So, like, what are your? You say you go to a bunch of Phillies games and such. Like, what do you think about the Flyers? You said you were like 10 games or something this year. You know, do you like them at all, or are you just kind of a?
It's hard. A lot of their good players are hurt and like injured, you know.
Of course.
So like by like week 3, it was like mostly like minor kids coming up, you know.
It's the truth.
But there's some good players. I'm like really nervous about Hart. Like I don't want to lose him. I think we're going to, but I don't want to. But I think it's just like a team that just needs like 3 or 4 years with like good ownership to actually build and be something.
I think that's very fair.
Yeah, Flyers are usually a good
Yeah, the
organization.
Penguins though, jeez, what happened?
Nothing good.
Nothing. Yeah, I was gonna say nothing good. I mean, I knew you were gonna go there. You had to just throw that little last part in there. We missed it by 1 point. We've seen it before. 16 straight years comes to an end. That's something you Flyers fans would be itching for, I bet. But
Yeah,
we'll get into
Penguins
that.
can't
We'll
fly,
save that
can
for
they?
another day.
Oh, did you hear
What'd you
that?
say?
Penguins can't fly.
Yeah. Oh well, they can win
Upset,
back-to-back
guys.
cups in
I
16
went
and
to, like, the whole-
17.
every-
And
For Flyers game at home, I was there.
what was the result?
Yeah. Oh, next question.
Well, NBA playoffs, obviously, well underway. We've had a decent first round here, in my opinion. Who do you see win the finals? What else you got for us on that front?
I got the Suns. I've had the Suns. I've had them. I actually had them since the Phillies were in the World Series.
Wow. What were those odds?
What odds? Yeah, what were those odds?
I got them at. I knew I was gonna bring this up. I don't even know what I got them at. It has to be like, it has to be crazy. But you know why I took them is because it was during this. It was the sports equinox. You know, when there's like hockey, football,
Yeah.
Thursday night football.
Yeah, all the 4 are on.
Thursday night football, you can't even watch it. Like it's not even enjoyable because I'm an Xfinity person. Like I'm like Flyers game, Phillies game, Sixers game, and then it's like Amazon Prime, NFL Monday, and it loads and it loads. It's like, hey, is this you? Yeah, it's me. Yeah, it loads. And I'm like, dude, I could have been on the next game already. And then I go to it, it's like a commercial. It's impossible to watch. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not watching this anymore. I went back, started watching NBA, and then I ended up watching like a late like Warriors Suns game, and the Suns beat them every quarter of the game. And I'm like, they're a pretty good team. And so I put like $50 down on it. And like everyone
Sure.
was like, why? I was like, I don't know.
And then they
Thursday night
grabbed
football
Kevin
just pissed
Durant.
me off.
I was gonna
Yeah, I
say,
don't
did
even
you
know
have
why.
any hunch that they were getting Kevin Durant? Because this, I mean, that was something that was in the
No.
trade rumors for a while, but
No, I like really didn't even think of that. Like this was, it was October like 22nd, maybe closer to Halloween. I don't remember, but it was like October. It was just, I had to see it in like my bet. You know how you have your bet slips, your future bets. I just had to see it every day. And I'm like, this is stupid. If I even do that.
yeah.
But now the odds look really good. I don't even know if they're offering me a cash out. I haven't used that app in a while.
Yeah, I'm sure the
I'm
cash
looking
app's
for it.
pretty high right now.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you're definitely getting to the point where you're getting offered a cash out. I'd say.
Yeah, probably. We'll have to
Looks
see.
good though.
I have
Definitely a
$50
good
bucks,
future
it's
to
not worth
have.
that lot.
Yeah, I mean, it depends the odds you have on it. If I mean, I don't know what odds they would have been at the beginning of the season. They weren't.
12 maybe, 1,200.
I was gonna say 14 to 1.
That's nasty
that's
either
so-
way.
Yeah, it's sitting at 450 right
yeah,
now.
and then
So
they get Kevin
regardless,
Durant.
it's
Well, I took UConn at what was it? I actually asked my guy today what it was at. I took them at plus 900. Yeah, during the Sweet 16.
Nice.
a nice
Yeah.
pick.
Yeah.
And then it was cool. I got to see them play Gonzaga out in Vegas.
Oh, that's sweet.
And I was literally at the Aria Sportsbook, just like chilling, and I was like, I'm bored. What's there
Yeah,
to do?
they smoked them.
Right. I could have went to the Taylor Swift concert or the UConn Gonzaga game, and it was funny because I only bought a single ticket, so I was just going by myself. And then the dude next to me bought a single ticket too, and he's he's like a sports bettor too. So it was just like it was dope, you know. And
Yeah.
we were like kind of in the corner, but it was funny like seeing like Charlie D'Amelio's dad there, like so random.
Yeah.
He was like asking everyone to pitch in for TikTok.
Jeez.
Like, okay.
So do you think your Sixers have any sort of a chance coming out of the East? Who do you think comes out of the East? Do your Sixers have a chance?
I have a future on them to win the conference. I just need that. Like,
okay.
But
it's looking good. It is. Especially with the Bucks going down. Not yet, but
no. I have a bunch of.
I don't think that Miami Bucks series is over. I definitely think Milwaukee's gonna at least force 7.
Yeah,
4-7 they're gonna win it. You 4-7 they're gonna win it.
Yeah,
I still think Milwaukee wins that series.
I really like the Lakers line. Like I really like it.
What's it at? Do you have it up? If not, I can get it.
I always do. I do mostly European odds when I look at stuff.
Really?
Yeah, it's a lot easier.
Where does that strike back to? Like, when did you start doing that? Just pure curiosity.
That's like when you're like doing like you know when you have a parlay and say you have like a golf parlay and it's like a dead heat. You have to kind of like minimize. It's just easier with like European odds.
I understand that. I think I understand that.
Or what do you mean European odds? Is that like
decimals.
Instead of like a I was gonna say it's the decimals instead of the plus whatever.
Yeah, they're plus 1,600. Oh, that's as of March.
I was gonna say I have the Lakers at plus 1,000.
It still ain't bad.
Let me shop the odds real quick. Let me check another app.
Betfair kind of like makes me mad when it comes to futures. Like you can't. I always use them for everything.
Lakers at plus 1,000 on both of the apps I'm looking at right now.
Plus 1,000. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I don't hate that. And they've been looking really good too because you know LeBron James basically sat the bench the whole season until the playoffs. So
You're not
they
wrong.
better be looking good.
Right? You better be coming out on all cylinders.
He's gotta save that body, that old body, and can't play 82 games and then a full playoffs. I understand it.
I mean I get it too, but like come on.
Yeah,
No.
I know. Yeah.
It's like hard to like even want to go to a Lakers game if you know he's not gonna play.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
fair.
because he just sits out all the time. You can't expect him to really play. It's all these guys in the NBA now, though.
I hate
the
Ben
chances
Simmons.
and
He's just the clown.
yeah, he's terrible. That was definitely a good move to get rid of him. But I was gonna say, are you worried at all about if the Sixers draw the Celtics? Obviously, we think they're gonna get the Celtics. The Celtics have a 3-2 series lead in that one. The Hawks forced the game 6 last night. But are you worried about Sixers Celtics at all? You think your Sixers can handle them? I know you said you have them to win the conference.
I just want to see like the Sixers like actually like have like a playoff game. The Nets was just too easy. Every Nets game I went to one. It was boring. Like, you know, like just like watching the Sixers just beat up on them. Like I want the Sixers to play a real playoff team, and I'm excited for them. I think that they're gonna handle it. I just want Embiid to stay off the floor, keep them 2 feet on the floor only. Harden will get those deep shots in, you know, and I think they'll be fine. But I'm definitely trying to go to a game for sure.
That'd be
It's
awesome.
gonna be a crazy series.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Nets were only in the playoffs because of 2 players that aren't even on the team anymore. So yeah, definitely not playing that was a pretty easy round for you guys.
Yeah, no, it was. I kind of figured that they were gonna sweep or only like lose one, like at the second or third night or something, you know.
Well, last thing I really wanted to cover with you, Megan, or with Siggy, is being a woman in this industry. You're obviously kind of an outlier, definitely in a niche area of some sort. Do you find it difficult? Do you find it that it gives you any type of advantage? And how can other women follow in your footsteps? Because there's definitely more women every day coming up in this industry, and it's incredibly impressive and needs to be done. So what do you think?
No.
No.
I think I have such an advantage, honestly, because my industry specifically is like VIP hosting.
Right.
So like if say like I like have a suite and I have to pay the bill, right, with my card, like, and it's a VIP, like obviously it goes through my company, but like they see me paying the bill and they're like, oh no, we got it, you know. But like, so like I can kind of get further away with like things when it comes to those things. But yeah, most of the time like my like clients, like they don't even know that I'm a girl.
That's
I just say
interesting.
Siggy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they don't even know until they meet me. Because there can be like weirdos, but like that's like any sales job really.
Right. Any profession for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting for sure.
I was gonna say, I'm not gonna lie with what she just said. When you first emailed me, like when you first reached out to contact me, I had to look you up on LinkedIn because I was like, because your Siggy was in your email, your signature, and I was like so thrown off. I was like, I had to look you up, and then I'm like, okay, she is a girl. I did realize that. Like, I don't know, it just threw me for a loop at first, and then obviously now that we've kind of built the relationship that we've had, I've definitely appreciate it. But yeah, that just whenever you said that, I thought of that as soon as you sent me that first email.
Yeah, it's just easier that way. You know, I found that like when I said Megan, like it would be like if they had an issue with like a bet, they're like, oh, like you wouldn't understand, blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
you're gonna get all
You know,
that
and, like,
bullshit. Yeah,
clients like that, I don't really want to meet in person anyway. Like
Right.
if they're just gonna be like disrespectful to me, whether they know who I am or whatever, you know.
yeah.
So, you know, it works out either way.
Well, I don't got anything else. What do you guys got? Anything else, Dad?
Aces at the Bruins game and they're losing 1-0.
Oof. Poor guy.
Wait, the Bruins are down.
Yeah.
I have the Bruins
Yeah.
minus 1.5.
Oh.
Ugh.
I feel like that was
Yeah,
a
I got the
popular one
Bruins-
tonight.
Bruins and Avalanche minus 1.5.
All right. I like Avs.
Avalanche. We have
We're rolling
Avalanche.
with the
We have
Avs,
the
too.
Avalanche.
All right. Well, I think that's just going to wrap up here our interview with Siggy. Thank you very much for coming on, Megan.
Thanks,
We're very
guys.
happy to have you. Seriously, come back anytime. We'd love to have you. You
Yeah,
always have.
I got some Pirates tickets for you guys. So
Yes, that's awesome.
just let me know, text me.
Definitely. Yeah, I'll definitely be hitting you up. We'll have to come out, make a trip out to Atlantic City this summer at some point.
For sure. We're having like a Memorial Day weekend thing. If you want to come down for that, if not, just come down any weekend. There's always something going on.
All right. That was a great interview with Megan. Again, VIP host for one of the top tier sportsbooks here in the United States. So we're excited that we were able to connect with her and hear more about her interesting life. So let's jump into this week's episode. Let's start off with a Would You Rather segment. The question I got for you guys is, would you rather score the game-winning goal in overtime of Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final, or would you rather hit a game-winning buzzer-beater 3-ball in Game 7 of the NBA Finals to win when your team is down by 2? What do you guys think?
I'll go first here. This is really hard because obviously as hockey players, I think we're all gonna pick score Game 7. Mackie, you being a goalie, I don't know what you're gonna go with here, but there is nothing like okay. There's like 2 YouTube videos that I repeatedly watch, and it's Alec Martinez scoring the game-winning goal against your Rangers. That goal call is one of the best goal calls in NHL history. When he scored that goal in Game 5 in LA, and the horn is so sick in LA. I'm sorry. But then the other one is the Mike Breen bang, bang calls in the finals. Oh my God, could you imagine hitting a Game 7 down 2? You win the fucking chip? Like, I don't know.
That's never been done,
tough.
I don't think.
I don't think it has, but I'm probably going to go with Game 7 overtime.
See, I think the Mike Breen call is definitely way more iconic, just because it's Mike Breen. And
yeah, only if he's calling the game. Only if he's calling the game, I'm taking the 3.
Yeah, but you can't hear it.
Seriously.
You can't hear it. You can't hear him say bang when you're on the court.
I'll watch it back.
It'll be the most iconic clip ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is bias. Obviously, we all play hockey.
Right.
You're gonna go with hockey, but I mean, come on, like being down two.
Give me the fucking
like,
cup.
It's not even like if you don't hit it, there's overtime. Like, no, if you miss it, it's over.
Yeah, game over.
It's definitely a little different there, but
and you need a 3 to win. A 2 ties it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna go with hockey though. Of course, come on.
But like I said, if Mike Breen is calling it, dude, I might have to take this. I might have to take the 3 ball.
It would definitely be more iconic in sports history.
Here's another big if. Here's another big if. If you're not on your home ice, if I'm on away ice, or if both games are away, that's tough. I think the 3 because you would just.
All right,
either game.
Here's what I have for you. That's strictly to basketball. Would you rather hit a game-winning 3 and silence a crowd on the road, or would you rather hit a game-winning 3 and like go in the crowd and hype up because they're hype? Like at home or what?
Pat Beverly play in stand on the table style, or shush a crowd and like silence them.
Pat Beverly isn't the best example.
No, but you know what I mean. Like Jalen Suggs in the March Madness, like that's
exactly,
not home crowd, but
there was actually no crowd. It was COVID year.
Was it really?
Yeah, there was nobody in the stands.
So that couldn't have been a worse example. But
you could hear a fucking.
I'd probably do the shush a crowd. Like, dude, Trae Young shot the other night against the Celtics, and the shivers going to center court. Yeah, we're going to Game 6. And
so cold, bro.
Dude, he's good.
I hate him. I hate him more than anybody else in the NBA probably. But that was cold.
Yeah, the Knicks and the Hawks.
I respect greatness. I respect greatness.
That was such a good shot. Oh, he sucked the life out of that building.
It was also
days,
like,
because
dude,
they're going back to Atlanta.
Dude, imagine you had Atlanta money line. They were down 13 with 4 minutes left.
I saw they were live plus 1,800 at one point.
They were plus 5 to start the game.
Yeah, and they were down 12 at one point.
13 with 4 minutes left.
Oh.
Yeah,
I don't have the balls to live bet like that.
See, here's my next question. Does that worry you if you have a Celtics bet or if you're just a Boston fan? I mean, not being able to close out against an 8 seed, 7 seed, what are they?
Dude, I get so bought in
because they're gonna get
recency bias. Because like I'm the type of person that I think whoever wins Game 6 wins Game 7. Like you have the momentum. I don't care if you're going back on the road. If you win Game 6 on your home ice and you go back to like on away ice, or vice versa, like what the Islanders are about to do, go down to or come back to New York for Game 6. And then go down to Carolina for Game 7. If Carolina wins Game 6, dude, I like the Islanders to win Game 7. I really do. Like, certain situations, I just get so, like, the momentum in the playoffs is everything, in my opinion. And, like, it's so hard to be like, no, they're going to lose Game 6, but there's no way they lose Game 7. Like, unless they're on their home floor, it's really hard for me to take that.
Yeah, like, when you go down 3-1 in the series, the best thing to do is to go back to away. Because if you lose, whatever, it's 4-1. But if you win, you're going back home and it's 3-2. You can even up the series like that. So, if you're down 3-1, I'd want to be away, honestly. Because, whatever, if you lose Game 5 on the road.
Game 5 to be away?
Yeah, exactly. I'd want to be the lower seed or whatever. I'd want to be the away seed. Because if you lose Game 5 on the road, okay, whatever, you just lost 4-1. It was nothing anyway.
Yeah.
If you win Game 5 on the road, you get to go home for Game 6. Opposed to if you
have the momentum.
Opposed to if you won Game 5 at home, you'd have to go to Game 6 down 3-2 in a different arena. So being the away team and down 3-1 in the series is definitely beneficial. You see it in this Islanders series. That'd be cool. I'd love to see the Islanders come back.
I honestly think they might, dude.
Dude, they just won Game 5 in Carolina, dude. And then you win 2 in a row going back to Carolina. They can win it just like they just did. But then again, we've seen this Islanders team not be able to put the puck in the net, so you never know.
All right, well, that was good. That led to a little more than I thought, but all good stuff there. Let's jump into a little MLB here real quick. As of Sunday, the Rays went 22 games in a row with a home run. Yankees have the record with 31 games. Rays ended that streak on Monday, but very impressive for the Rays, yet doing amazing to start this season. And putting up 22 games in a row with a home run. So, good stuff there. with last Saturday night's loss, the Oakland A's put them at the worst start in franchise history at 4-17, and I think they just keep tacking on to that. With their
and that's why they're headed to Vegas. It was a matter of time for the past couple of years, and the Oakland A's are officially going to be headed to Vegas soon.
Is that official?
Yeah, the deal's in place. 1
2025
point something for their stadium, somewhere behind T-Mobile Arena. Lots of construction.
Everyone's just going from Oakland to Vegas.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oakland's just. I saw a video the other day. It was like a guy in the top stands. There's like 18 people in the arena max. I'm like, holy shit! How do you guys afford to even play games?
Yeah, it is crazy.
Because
no one goes.
The ticket prices are probably like $10 anyway. So you're getting what?
Yeah,
$100, maybe $1,000 off ticket sales. Like, there's no way there's more than 100 people in that place. I swear to God, it was like empty.
Yeah, I know they
close
close off sections.
You're paying these players like.
That's why they have to make a move. They're probably not.
Oh, it had to be
any money. You go to Vegas, that completely turns everything around. You automatically have a massive fan base.
It's the easiest flip. It's the easiest flip of a switch they could do.
It's the easiest get me out of trouble.
Yeah,
for sure.
The other market that I think should get a baseball team sooner or later is Nashville. I think that would be a cool market.
I agree.
Yeah, because it's also like that same vibe kind of. You're always going to have a rowdy fan base. Easy to get behind. I like that too.
Next one I got here in the MLB is with their loss to the Twins on Tuesday. The Yankees have now lost 6 straight series openers. It's tied for their longest streak since 2008. The Yankees are 2-6 in series openers this season, the worst winning percentage through the end of April over the last 20 seasons.
That is crazy to me because the Yankees were the last team in the league that hadn't lost a series.
Isn't that wild?
So they just kept losing the first game.
They were losing the first game and then winning the next 2, or at least winning 2 out of 4 or whatever. That's pretty interesting. It's probably the first time in history that's ever happened. But yeah, these Yankees are struggling a little. I don't know. They're injured. They're definitely really injured, but star power's still there. I don't know. What do you think, Huff?
I don't know. I think obviously with a team like that, when you have that kind of lineup, they'll be back. The thing is, that's a tough division. The Rays, we saw the start the Rays are having. They're 20-4. They just lost their first game at home. The Houston Astros came in there and put an end to there. I think they ended at a 13 home game winning streak to start the season. I think it was one of the longest in MLB history, if not the longest. And then you have these young Orioles at 16-8. The Blue Jays at 16-9, and the Yankees at 14-11. Everyone in this division is 500 or better, and the Red Sox are sitting in the basement at 13-13. So it's a tough division, but obviously the Yankees the cream will rise to the top. I think the Yankees will still come out on top in this division. Actually, it's tough to say. If the Rays keep up, the Rays obviously with the start that they had, it's going to be hard for them. But 162 game season, we're 24, 25 games in, so we'll see what it comes down to. But I think the Yankees will be fine.
Yeah, you tend to see a lot of over-exaggerations in the first month of baseball season.
For sure. The Pirates seem to always do well, but they seem to be doing more well than other years this time around. Re-signing.
You got a little extra funk this year, I'll tell you that. Yeah,
re-signing Brian Reynolds to a big deal. McCutchen just taking care of business every night. So
also a tough division. So, if they do, they can slip into a wild card spot. You can obviously see the Brewers, Cardinals, even maybe the Cubs coming up their ass. But, if they hold, they can win 90 games, 92 games. They're sitting in a wild card spot. That'd be this team has a lot of star power. They're actually pretty good. So the bullpen just has to keep going. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, and this is the first time the Pirates have had this good of a start since 2015. That's the last time we made the playoffs. And right now, being the lead in the NL Central, like you said, a tough division. I know the Cardinals aren't having their best start to the season, being under 509 and with only 9 wins, but the rest of the division is competing. Like you said, the Brewers are the Brewers, and the Cubs with, like I said, that lineup with all the additions that they made in the offseason, I think that they'll get going sooner or later. So the Cubs are a team that definitely to look out for in this division, but I have to give props where props are due, and the Pirates they're 16-8 right now. We have the Dodgers tonight. I do not know the score of this game right now. I'm going to check it real quick. 0-0 top of the 5th. Dodgers have a guy on second, no outs. Like I said, what'd you say?
So you have to give credit where credit's due. You've been waiting for this.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this chance to talk about the Pirates on this podcast. I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday before they lost to the Dodgers, they're the NL lead. Mackie, I thought you were throwing a little shade at me when you were saying people could over exaggerate this early on in the MLB season. Well, in Pittsburgh, when you start 16-8, we're gonna over exaggerate, and especially when the Penguins aren't in the playoffs. It is baseball season. The Pirates are buzzing, and without O'Neal Cruz, I thought as soon as O'Neal Cruz went down, I was like, oh great, they started 6-2 or 6 and whatever. Yeah, I'm like, oh, all the fun's over. We had the fun start, and that's gonna be it. But McCutchen has picked up, and Bednar closing the door each and every night. We have a really good team, and I'm excited. I'm really excited. I mean, I think you can tell, but I think we have a good team. I mean, I really do. And like I said, tough division, like you said, but it is early, and you can't really make too many predictions, but. I think they're going to win 90 games. I made that prediction, I think, a week ago. I tweeted it, or a couple days ago. I'm locking myself in for a Pirates 90-win season.
I wasn't throwing a shade at you, but if the shoe fits, But no, even me. Like I remember the Mets started 11-0 like a few seasons ago, and I was like, "Oh, this is like the best Mets team ever." And I'm not even sure if they made the playoffs. So it's just everyone, dude. You don't realize how long 162 games.
We just talked about the Oakland Athletics at 4-17. I'm not used to being that bad, but we're used to being bottom of the division, like 8-16 right now, not 16-8.
Yeah, no, I mean, especially with you guys, if you have a chance to get excited, fucking get excited.
It's like Ace and his
It's like
Bruins.
we have one of the best stadiums in the MLB, and it's like it's so sad when no one's there. And it's like when the team is good in the middle of summer, it's easily one of the best places. I know I'm gonna be biased saying this, but like that has to be one of the best places to watch a baseball game. I mean, there's a reason it gets rated top 5, top 3.
It is rated number 1. Rated number 1 best view, obviously because of the skyline in the back.
Yeah,
perfect. But yeah, I mean that is a really nice part.
Nice. Dodgers have 2 outs.
Well, hopefully we'll be catching a game here in the coming weeks.
Yeah, shout out Siggie.
Shout out Siggie. But I think that's all we have for the MLB this week. I have 1 point here in the college football world. For the first time since 1968, the clocks will not stop on first down in all NCAA football games except for Division III. So this new rule,
I like this.
I love it. I think this is huge. That always confused me when I was watching college games, in college and everything like that. Just felt like it added another step to things. What do you guys think? Anything to say?
I didn't like it in college for the gambling reason of when I think a team has way less time than they do, and then the clock stops when they get a first down and they're still in bounds, and they get up to the line of scrimmage before the clock's running, and they basically act like they went out of bounds and they have a first down. And I'm just really frustrated whenever I have the other team that I need to get a stop. So from a selfish standpoint, I never liked that rule. But also, I just like it. It's the same as the NFL. You don't want people having to learn 2 sets of rules. And, like, it's kind of how college basketball is with I'm kind of blanking on what, like, the nickname is for it. Like, Mackie, where you have to make a free throw before you get the second one.
Double bonus?
1-and-1. A 1-and-1.
Wow.
Like how they don't do that in the NBA. You know what I mean? Like I that's like where I'm like the casual fan. Like I'm definitely really into college basketball and I'm into the NBA, but like I never know in college basketball. I'm like, is this a 1-and-1? Does he get 2 shots here? Does he what's he gonna do here? Like I'm always just like waiting to see if they're gonna get the second shot, and I always just hope they make the first one because then I'm like, okay, then he gets another one. Obviously, unless it's an and one. But this rule I do like this.
I'm switched with you on that. College, I always know what's going on. NBA, I'm just like, all right, I have no idea if he's getting free throws or not and how many he's getting. But college, I watch so much college basketball, I know everything about that shit. But.
When the ref's like slamming his hand to the floor, I'm like, okay, it's on the floor, but like, is it a bonus? Are they getting shots? Like,
what was the initial question here, Jesse? What was it about?
The NCAA football, for the first time since 1968, the clocks will not stop on first down.
Oh, okay. That's
so we'll have the clock rolling through on
so
that
like,
one.
So like first and 10, running back runs for 15 yards right up the middle. Clock would stop until the refs set the sticks.
Till they set it, yeah. So it saves like 10 seconds, probably 15 seconds.
So, yeah, in like in 2-minute drills though, it was like
yeah.
I mean, that's the thing is I don't remember if it was like within 2 minutes it doesn't stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like in
what's
the
the rule there? I don't even know.
it's just like in the NFL. Sometimes I don't see like another thing. Like I'm
I
a
don't.
huge sports fan. I just don't know all these rules. But it's like sometimes in the NFL, guys go out of bounds with like 4 minutes, like 2 minutes, under 2 minutes left in this fourth quarter, and the clock stops. But in the second quarter, with 10 minutes left, he goes out of bounds. The clock doesn't stop.
Right.
And I
You
get
know
it.
why?
It's a pace of play thing. Like,
You know the rule behind it?
no, go. Isn't
the
it like
last-
5 minutes or under in the second
the
or
last-
fourth quarter?
The last 5 minutes of the first and second half, but he has to be going forward. So if you're getting tackled out of bounds and you're getting tackled backwards, the clock cannot stop. And I didn't know that until I was watching a game last season, and he like kind of like nonchalantly went out of bounds, and the guy hit him last second, and he went backwards, and the clock didn't stop, and it ended up being detrimental. But the rest were the announcers were explaining it, and I was like, I didn't know that. But yeah, it's the last 5 minutes of each half. If you're going out of bounds with your momentum going forward, then the clock will stop.
Yeah, I would have never known that.
I don't like how college rules, especially when they're an immediate feeder to the professional league, have different rules than where you're going.
Yeah, I agree.
Just make it the same thing. These college players have to adapt their rookie year that are going into these higher leagues. Like I just think you should have the same rule book.
I think that's fair, and that's going to wrap up all we have for college football this week. Let's jump into the NHL. We are full-fledged into the first round here, it being Wednesday. We got the Panthers and Bruins playing right now. Bruins leading the series 3-1. Game tonight in Boston. Currently, end of the first period, they're down 1-0. Ace is at that matchup. Do we think that the Bruins are going to win this matchup and advance to the second round tonight?
They could definitely come back, especially on their home ice. But I don't know. I've liked Florida this series, and it's not like the Bruins are outplaying them. So, Panthers with the lead. I'll take them tonight. See it go 6 games.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Obviously, with Florida having the 1-0 lead on the road, it's going to be tough for them to close this game out with 40 minutes left to play. Boston's one power play away from evening this thing up, but I think Florida can close this thing out tonight.
I think it's going to be a good matchup, and I'm curious to hear what Ace has to say come next week when we're mid into the second round, actually, now that I think about it, because that will start come Monday. Another game tonight is the Kraken and the Avs starting here later this evening. Series tied 2-2. I think this one's going 6 this one is definitely going 6. Do you guys think it's going 7?
See, the thing is the Avalanche, I like the Avalanche tonight, but the Kraken have played them hard all series. And last game I did like the Kraken. I didn't end up taking it because I said I've never done good fading the Avalanche. But tonight on their home ice, I do like Colorado to win this game by 2 or more. And up in Seattle, they've been a hard place to play for Colorado throughout their time or their tenure in the NHL. So I definitely could see the Seattle force a game 7, but I like the Avalanche to come out of this series. I know last week I was saying this thing's going to be over in 5. Now I'm starting to respect that Seattle team a little more. I definitely could see this thing go 7, but I'm going to go with the Avs to come out tonight, -1.5. We have that on the card, and in the series, either 6 or 7, but don't be surprised if this thing goes 7.
Yeah, obviously no Cale Makar tonight. That was a pretty dirty hit last game. Just stupid, honestly. You deserve a suspension just for being stupid. But no Jared McCann on the other end either. So that's 2 big names on both sides that we're not going to see tonight. I think the Avalanche take it on home ice, but yeah, if this goes 7, I could definitely see Seattle stealing it. They're a pesky team. Got a few nice wins. Last game they won in overtime at home, but the shots are like double. I think it was like 45-25 in favor of Seattle. So they're definitely a little pesky team. I think they can definitely maybe steal a series here. But I think if the Avalanche win tonight, they can definitely win in Game 6. And I wouldn't. If I'm the Avalanche, I don't want to see the series go 7 games.
I agree with that. I think, Huff, you're right. Finally come to terms with this Kraken team. They're picking it up, and they're making this a series for sure. So let's jump into some of these matchups that are continuing here on Thursday. The Leafs and the Lightning. The Leafs finally get over that hump, steal both games on the road from Tampa. Now have a 3-1 series lead, pretty commanding there. Do we think they win their first series since 2004? This will be the first time again since 2004 they make it out of the first round. What do you guys think about this game or this series coming again on Thursday?
Another series where the away team's down 3-1 with a chance to get it to 3-2 on the road and then come back for Game 6. I think Toronto takes care of business tonight. I think they won both their hard games on the road. They lost Game 1, got the jitters out, took 3 in a row. They're going home for Game 5. I think they take care of business. they're obviously the better team here. Yeah, I think they're just gonna get over the hump. I think those last 2 games proved it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think this series, I like the Leafs close things up in 5 games. I don't have much to say. I really like this Leafs team.
Julius Randle just got hurt.
What'd you say?
Julius Randle just got hurt.
Dang, that's not good. But Marner, Matthews, this Leafs team is buzzing. They are not blowing this 3-1 lead. I can guarantee that. I don't think so.
No shot, but you got to win tonight, or you got to win tomorrow. Whenever they play, you got to win Game 5 at home. It's like we said. Go back home for Game 6 after a win at Game 5. You don't want to go to Game 7 with Vasilevsky.
You don't want to see Vasilevsky in Game 7, yeah.
No.
Mackie, your Rangers, man, they're falling apart. Up 2-0 on the series, down or now even at 2-2 against the Devils. The Hudson River rivalry here, the next game here in New Jersey, correct? Yeah, in New Jersey. What do you think Thursday night?
I think we got humbled big time, and I think you guys are a lot to blame for that, because not being Rangers fans and you guys being on that wagon so heavy, I was like, yeah, this team is so good. But we got humbled big time. You win 2 on the road, but Devils are like I said in the beginning of the series, Devils are the best road team in the league. They were 28-9-1, I think it was. So obviously this team is good. They very inexperienced. We saw it in the first 2 games. That's why we were able to steal 2 pretty easy. But they got their legs under them. They figured out how to play Jack Hughes. Figured out how to do what he needed to do. Still the only problem we had to deal with. He's really the only person scoring for them, putting up offense, and none of their other players are Nico Hischier, Jesper Bratt, Dawson Mercer. None of them have put up any points. So just got to contain Jack Hughes, and I think we're all right. We need our big superstars to step up a little. Panarin and Zibanejad combined for 4 assists in the 4 games so far. Not good enough. Just got to be better. Shesterkin's playing out of his mind right now. I would not put any of the blame on his fault. Got to step up for him big time. But I'm not really worried. I think we definitely come out of this series. You just changed this series to a 3-game series, and experience just becomes that much more of a big deal in this scenario. So it should be a good one.
Yeah, I still like the Rangers here. I still think the Devils are a little young and inexperienced, like you said. When you shrink this thing down to a 3-game series, I know the Devils have the home ice advantage tomorrow in Game 5. I like the Rangers to win that game tomorrow, and I don't think they lose at the Garden in Game 6, but I've been wrong before. I do think the Rangers take this thing in 6 games.
Well, we got another chance for a team to clinch a series here after a pitiful start. The Vegas Golden Knights have bounced back 3 straight wins. They're up 3-1 on the Winnipeg Jets. What's that?
That's crazy, dude. That is so crazy. You can't make that up.
You really can't.
I said, of course. I take them Game 1 when they're fucking in Vegas. Place is rocking for playoff hockey. They lose, 4-1. Next 3 games, they're just like, yeah, we'll win now. We'll cover the puck line. Game 2. Game 3, we'll win in overtime. Game 4, we're going to cover the puck line again.
Well, they're coming into Game 5 here on home ice. What do you think? Huff, start us off here. Does Vegas get it done? Do they clinch the series here, or does Winnipeg live to see another day?
I really like this Vegas team, and the thing that's tough for me is the Broussard net, whatever his name is, and he's played good throughout this series, and I'm gonna keep going with Vegas here. I know Hellebuyck hasn't really stolen a game yet. I know he kind of basically did in Game 1, but I know we're still waiting on that kind of shutout or crazy 40 save game. I just feel like Vegas didn't play good in Game 1, and that's kind of more the reason that they lost, not as much that Hellebuyck stole the game. But I like Vegas to win this thing in Game 5. I think they win. I don't know if I'm going to take the puck line, but I do think they come out on top. I like Vegas to wrap this series up. Mackie, I don't know if I told you this. I did end up taking, with Jesse, I took Vegas to win the Western Conference. I think it was, Jesse, what was it, plus 440?
440, yes.
Yeah, so I like Vegas.
Well, after Game 1, it looks pretty good. Yeah, like you said, I wouldn't really say Hellebuyck stole Game 1. I think Winnipeg just outplayed them, to be honest. But Vegas found their feet. They found their goal. They know what they're doing now. You come back into the series, you win 3 games, 2 on the road, and that in Winnipeg, probably the toughest environment in the NHL to play in. You can't get more momentum than that. So I think they close up the series here. Just a way better team. Winnipeg was really never that good coming into the playoffs. Thought maybe Hellebuck could steal a few, maybe make this an interesting series. But yeah, I think Vegas closes it out tonight. They're just a better team, and I am going to eat my words from Game 1. I did say that Winnipeg could definitely come out with this series, but Vegas just turned it up a notch. Showed a lot more of what that 109 points were in the regular season.
Good stuff there for all the Thursday matchups. Let's shoot our way over to Friday. The Islanders keep themselves alive, stealing Game 5 on the road. Do they have a chance anymore? Carolina up 3-2, going back to Long Island. Game on Friday. What do you guys think?
They absolutely have a chance. I think the Islanders take Game 6. Carolina hasn't been the best road team. I think we're going to see a 7-game series here, and I think Sorokin, don't be scared if he puts up a very impressive performance in Game 7, because I think the Islanders have obviously the better goaltender in this series, and in a Game 7, give me the team with the better goaltender. I know I always say it's hard to take a team on the road in Game 7, but whoever wins Game 6, obviously if Carolina wins Game 6, the series is over. If the Islanders win Game 6, this series is over, in my opinion. I think the Islanders win the series.
Yeah, I don't know about it. I wouldn't say the series is over. I definitely agree with you.
You know what I mean? I'm taking the momentum here to go down to Carolina and get the job done. I think they'd play that Islanders brand of hockey and they'd win something 2-1, 3-2 in overtime, a shitty goal in overtime. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you what, one thing I can promise is if it does go 7, I'm taking the under in that last game, because Carolina's defense is going to be crazy lockdown, and you can count on Sorokin to have the game of his life.
It'll be 5. It'll be an even 5.
Yeah, probably. And it might even be minus 120.
Every game in this series, the under 1.5 first period is hit.
Every one. I know it did for the first 3. Has it kept going?
Every single one.
Yeah, I saw somebody tweet before the series even started. They're like, I'm just ripping every single under for 1.5 in the first period. Look at it. It's 5 games in. But yeah, like we said earlier, they're in the situation to go back to Game 7 and maybe have a chance to win this series now after winning Game 5 on the road. Team looked good. They're putting the puck in the net. Matt Barzal finishing finally. So, Islanders are a little pesky team. Canes have their problems. Could be a good one. I'd love to see the Islanders in the second round if the Rangers figure it out and get past these Devils.
Yeah, that would be a good series.
All right, the next game we have here, also on Friday, the Stars and the Wild. Ottinger shutting the door as the Stars defend home ice and take Game 5 as they have a 3-2 series lead. What do we think? Does Dallas close it out here on the road, or is this one go into 7?
I think this series is over. I think Ottinger's locked in at this point. He got maybe 2 the game before. They might have won 3-2 on the road, but I think it was 2-0 going into the third period, I think. They won last game 4-0. He had the support of his crowd, obviously. But they've just completely dominated ever since this series was 2-1 Minnesota, actually. So this Dallas team has all the momentum. I think they're the better team overall. Ottinger's on his game. I can't see this going the wrong way. It could go 7 games, but Minnesota's not going to win that Game 7 in Dallas, I don't think. I know this goes against your trend here, Huff, where if you win Game 6, you're going to win Game 7, but I really don't. This series was thought to go 7 games from the start, so I don't know. I like the home team.
Yeah, I do think that that Dallas closes us out here. I'm with you. I like Dallas here.
Alrighty, and that final matchup will be Game 6. Avs and Kraken, we already talked about them, but that's when that guaranteed Game 6 will occur. So lots to look forward to there on Friday. And really only one series to review on Saturday is the Oilers and the Kings. Oilers lead that series 3-2. Game 6 will be played on Saturday, like I said. Yeah, but what do you guys think about this Western Conference series?
I'm going to go Oilers in 6. They've been a little overwhelming recently. I know Kane's got a nice win in Game 1 in Edmonton, and then they won one at home, as they should, but Edmonton's too good right now. That duo between Draisaitl and McDavid, they just started playing together. I know they didn't a lot in games 1 and 2. So they've been kind of tearing it up. I think this team has all the momentum. Skinner just needs to make some saves, and they'll be good.
Yeah, I'm right there with you too. I think this series. I know I said the Kings were a pesky team, but I said the Oilers in six. I'm going to stick with the Oilers in six. I like them here. They really had their way with them last night, and I think that continues into Game 6. I think the Oilers get this series all clinched up, and they're done. Like I said, Oilers in six Saturday. I think this series is over.
Like I said, round 2 starting early next week as these series wrap up this weekend. So lots to look forward to in the NHL as we continue to review that each and every week. So let's jump over and focus on the NBA also in their playoffs. Lots to look forward to there. Games on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all over the place. Let's start with Wednesday. The Knicks and the Cavs going on right now. We have Knicks +6 on this matchup. Knicks are currently up 61-51 at half.
Go Knicks. That's all I gotta say.
Fair enough. All right, and at the end of the first quarter, Lakers and Grizzlies also happening. Lakers leading that series 3-1. The Grizzlies are up 38-24 in this matchup, but again, only the end of the first quarter there. Other matchups happening this evening are the Heat and the Bucks. The Heat leading that series 3-1, and finished off the evening. The Warriors and the Kings series tied 2-2. That series going 6, possibly 7 games. One of the more electric series, I think, in this playoff that I've watched. You guys got any comments on any of those matchups here this evening, these series happening Wednesday night?
Yeah, I like the Lakers in this matchup. I think they do come back and win this game. I know it's in Memphis, but I do like this Lakers team, and even if it's not, I like them to win the series in 6. I think that was my original pick, was Lakers in 6. And then as far as the Milwaukee Heat game tonight at 9:30, I do think Milwaukee has their way with them. It's a 12.5 point spread, big spread. Maybe stay away from that number, but I do like the Bucks to come out on top. And then in the night game, Warriors Kings. I've been on this Kings team, and I've been the one defending this Kings team on this podcast for the duration of this series. But with no De'Aaron Fox tonight, or him being doubtful and looking like he's not going to play in this game, I'm not going to be betting on this game because I want the Kings, but I'm definitely leaning Warriors. But I didn't see what the public money is. I can imagine the public is all over the Warriors with no De'Aaron Fox. I'm going to pull it up real quick, but it's actually not too bad. Golden State -2 is 60% of the money. 55% of the money is on the money line, so it's tough. I lean Golden State in that game, but obviously, like I said, I like Sacramento and I like the Sacramento team, so in the rare chance that De'Aaron Fox plays, I'll be rooting for the Kings in this matchup.
Well, I think the Kings know if they lose this game, the series is over.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll without De'Aaron Fox, it would definitely be tough. But it could be a Domantas Sabonis takeover. We know how bad the Warriors are on the road, so they can definitely take advantage of that. Maybe Malik Monk has a crazy game, but if you were watching that game 5 or game 4, the inexperience showed big time for Sacramento. Malik Monk went up, take a shot down 5 with 50 seconds left, double covered, and he just smoked the layup completely. It's just a terrible possession with 55 seconds left, but I just think the Warriors close this thing out in 6 games. I think they get it done tonight with no De'Aaron Fox, and then they're not going to lose on home court.
Good stuff there for Wednesday night. Now on Thursday night, just one matchup, the Celtics and the Hawks. Game in Atlanta. The Celtics are up 3-2 in that series. Do they close it out in Atlanta? What do you guys think?
Yeah, this series doesn't go 7. Celtics take care of business.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Hawks had their fun. Trae Young had his infamous first round playoff moment, like he's seeming to start to have every year. Last year against the Knicks, this year against the Celtics gets his cool little moment. But yeah, this series is over.
Alrighty, some more stuff out of the NBA. The Nuggets take care of the Timberwolves in 5 games, closing out the series last night. Final score of that matchup, 112-109. So Nuggets moving on. Timberwolves are not. The next one, Devin Booker, 47 points the other night, helped the Suns take down the Clippers in 5 games. Kawhi Leonard is only able to play 2 games. Paul George did not play any. Kawhi announced he is not playing because of a torn meniscus. The Suns will face the Nuggets in the second round, and the Suns open up as a -145 series favorite. What do you guys think about this new matchup coming up here for the second round? Suns and Nuggets. Like we know, Siggie has a future on the Suns. What do you guys think?
I think if you're gonna bet series value, you're definitely gonna go with the Nuggets at plus 115. They've been the most dominant team all season. But Kevin Durant, the Suns roster is just probably gonna be a difference maker here. I think it's gonna be a really good, hard fought, at least 6 games, maybe 7 games. I don't really have a pick. I'm gonna go with Nuggets here just because I don't like to see Chris Paul succeed. I'm a hater, but that's my only logic behind the pick.
What was the question? The Nuggets Suns series. Who do we like?
Just a little pre.
Yeah, I like the Nuggets. They're my pick to come out of the West, and I think a lot of people are going to be on the Suns. I think they're definitely a really good team. But I'm gonna go with the Nuggets here. Like Mackie said, I like the Nuggets in 7 for a little fun. Maybe Nuggets in 6 on their home floor. Or they're the higher team, right?
They're the one seed, right? Yeah. They're the one seed.
Okay, yeah. I'll take Nuggets in 7 on their home floor.
Alrighty. I think that is going to just about wrap up everything we have for the NBA this week. The playoffs in full swing, just like the NHL. Lots to look forward to as round 2s will start next week, just like the NHL. Let's move
Bruins
forward.
scored.
What's that? Bruins scored?
Bruins scored. Brad
Go Ace.
Marchand
Woo!
tagging it.
Alrighty, let's shift our focus to the NFL. Some big news out of the NFL as well as the draft starting here tomorrow, the 27th of April. But the first point we got here is the most talked about move. The 2023 offseason has finally been completed. Just days before the 2023 NFL draft, the Packers have traded Aaron Rodgers to the New York Jets. Compensation, according to Adam Schefter of ESPN, 2 teams swapping their first-round picks on Thursday night. 13th pick to the Packers for the 15th pick of the Jets. Packers getting a conditional 2024 pick that will be first-rounder if Rodgers plays 65% or more of the snaps, and will otherwise be a second-rounder if he does not. Packers getting a 42nd and a 207th pick in the 2023 draft, and the Jets getting a 170th pick in the 2023 draft. So lots of little moving parts there, but the big news is Aaron Rodgers to the New York Jets. Mackie, your beautiful New York Jets upon your beautiful New York Giants. What are the Jets going to do this year? Aaron Rodgers now a staple there. Everyone excited about it. All the players, as far as I understand, the fan base. I know you're not a part of the fan base, but what do you see? What do you hear? What do you think?
I hear a bunch of Jet fans overreacting. That's the only thing I really hear. Obviously an awesome pickup. Your quarterback is the one position that they actually needed to improve tremendously. You obviously have the weapons now with everything they brought in. You have Brees Hall coming back. Obviously, that defense is nothing to mess around with. But, you're still in a loaded AFC conference, and you're also in a loaded AFC East. You're playing Josh Allen twice a year. You're playing Tua twice a year with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill on both sides. And you have Zavarian Howard and drawing a blank. Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
Jalen Ramsey on the other side. It's that Miami team is stacked now. If Tua's able to stay healthy, there's 2 tough teams already in the division, and the Patriots are obviously still Bill Belichick. Not an easy win ever. So you're playing all those teams twice a year. They're a playoff team, yes, but what will these fans think if they win one playoff game and then they get kicked out? Is that a successful season? Is that what they like? What are they looking for here? You're not a Super Bowl contender in my eyes yet.
Yeah,
No.
I keep hearing them say Super Bowl or bust, but I'm like, you aren't a Super Bowl contender.
You haven't even made the playoffs since fucking...
It is a Super Bowl or bust situation just because they could have Aaron Rodgers for 1 year and that's it.
You're right.
That's why it's a bad move overall. You're not going to win the Super Bowl this year. The AFC is too loaded up. The Jets are just not. They don't have the experience there. They have a bunch of young guys on both sides of the ball with obviously a vet quarterback. But we saw that last year in Green Bay. He just gets frustrated. But I don't understand the hype around this. He's got maybe 1, 2, maximum 3 years of football left. And he's just not. I don't think he's a top 3 quarterback in the league anymore.
And my thing with this move is, okay, we've seen it work with load the team up, get the defense, build the defense, draft all defense for so many years. You're not that great of a team. We saw the Bucs do it. They bring in Tom Brady. They win the Super Bowl. We saw the Rams do it. They bring in Matt Stafford. They win the Super Bowl. 2 common factors in those 2 teams winning Super Bowls. It was in the NFC. when the AFC was not even this good. So the fact that the Jets think they're going to do this in a hard division, let alone a hard conference, is I don't see what all these Jets fans see in this team. I mean, I'm a delusional Steeler fan. I think Kenny Pickett is like the next shit, but I'd rather have faith in a young quarterback going into next year with the defense that we have already proven that we have than a Jet team that's bringing in a 38, 39, 40-year-old quarterback. I don't even know how old he is. You know what I mean? With hopes of Super Bowl or bust.
The road to the Super Bowl, you have to go through either at least 2 of 3 of Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and Pat Mahomes. And you don't know how good
one's in your division.
And you don't know how good Justin Herbert is going to be this year either. So,
if the Jets do go to the Super Bowl, Aaron Rodgers could have this playoff run in Buffalo, first weekend, in Cincinnati, second weekend, say, or in Kansas City, and then AFC Championship would be whoever you didn't play in the divisional round.
You could run
Kansas
in all
City
3
or
of them,
Cincinnati.
worst case scenario.
Yeah, you literally could hit all 3 of them.
There's just way too much out there. Like you said, Tom Brady
And then
went
who
down
do they
to
get
the
in
Bucs.
the Super Bowl?
Like you said, Tom Brady went down to the Bucs. Okay, you have a pretty easy run to the NFC through the NFC, and then you have Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. So you have
In
that
an easy division.
other side, Matt Stafford. Pretty easy run to get to the Super Bowl, and then you play the first time there, Cincinnati Bengals, the first time there, Joe Burrow, first time Super Bowl. So you're talking about 2 scenarios there where it's not the same. You're going into the AFC, the loaded AFC, where the top 5 teams in the league are probably in the AFC. It's a terrible road to the playoffs, or road through the playoffs, and then I just can't see it with a brand new team and brand new scheme. And everything's brand new. I just come on, just be realistic here.
Yeah, a lot of interesting news coming out about Aaron Rodgers to the Jets. A lot of people excited, a lot of people feeling the similar way as you, Mackie. So let's look forward to and what comes of it in the coming weeks, other signings and things that they might make, what draft picks they take, with the draft starting here tomorrow. Like I said, draft starting tomorrow. This is the 80th annual meeting for the draft located in Kansas City this year. Some of the big names that are looking to go early are Bryce Young, an Alabama quarterback, Will Levis, Kentucky quarterback, C.J. Stroud, Ohio State quarterback, Anthony Richardson, Florida quarterback, Will Anderson, Alabama linebacker. Who do we see going? When do we see him going, and why? Any thoughts?
I think Bryce Young is kind of a lock-in for the number 1 overall pick at this point. It's seeming like Carolina and him have had kind of mutual feelings about each other and that they want to get to work together. And a proven winner in Bryce Young anytime. I mean, Alabama quarterbacks, they haven't been the best in the NFL. We'll see how he does being the number 1 overall pick. But I do have faith in him. He's not necessarily the largest quarterback, being I think only 5'11" or 5'10" or so, but Carolina is going to be one of those teams, like we said, the NFC South, not the best division. It's going to be a good spot for him. So I'd like to see Bryce Young go number 1 to Carolina. And then you look at number 2. I don't know. I really thought that the Texans were going to go with Will Anderson. I just think it's hard to pass up on him. But when they need a quarterback, and I think a lot of these teams are looking to next year with the draft, with Caleb Williams, Drake May. A lot of these quarterbacks are supposed to be coming out next year. It's supposed to be a lot more enticing draft class for quarterbacks rather than taking a Will Levis or a C.J. Stroud at number 2. For some reason, a lot of people aren't big on C.J. Stroud in this draft. I know the Colts, if he falls to 4, I like the Colts to take him at number 4 over a Will Levis if he is still available. But that's just kind of my analysis on the top 4 picks. It's hard to keep going through and so on past 4 or 5. But to give my little take on what I'd like the Steelers to do, obviously address the offensive line. You have a young quarterback, a young running back. You have weapons all over the field. Address the offensive line. You have a defense that's obviously done what it's done over the past couple of years. You've had some subtractions, but we've also made some minor additions. But I would like to see us address the offensive line. But I do think if Joey Porter Jr. is on the board, you take the best player available. I'll take a true lockdown corner, or what I think is going to be a true lockdown corner in Joey Porter Jr. Penn State product. Dad played for the Steelers. I feel like that's the biggest Steeler move to do there. They did it last year with Pickett. I think they do it this year with Joey Porter Jr. if he's available. But we'll end up seeing tomorrow. The NFL draft is one of my favorite times of the year, favorite nights of the year. I love watching it. I know it's not necessarily like a live sporting event, but I always love watching the NFL draft. Definitely really excited for this, Mackie. I don't know who you think is going to be going in these top couple of picks or what you're looking for the Cowboys to address. But that's just kind of my take on the draft.
I do have something to add real quick here. There was a post on Reddit about Will Levis telling friends and family that Carolina will, in fact, take him as the number 1 pick. That was early Tuesday morning. His odds moved from plus 4,000 to plus 400. Again, early Tuesday morning on DraftKings. So a lot of people were highlighting that, and whether that rumor's real or fake, it's, I think, starting to come out that it was partially true, but mostly not, in the sense that he will go early, but maybe not first. So what do you guys think? Continue with your point, Mackie. My apologies.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty dumb to take Will Levis first overall after everything that's been going on. I'm not high on this class, especially the QB class. I don't really see why there's 5 QBs that can go in the top 5, or I guess there's a few teams that aren't picking the quarterback, but there's 5 QBs that are even being looked at to go first overall. I just don't think it's there this year. I think Bryce Young is the best option. I think he had. I wouldn't say the highest ceiling because I think Anthony Richardson has the highest ceiling, but I think Anthony Richardson also is the least ready to go to the NFL. So I could see him falling pretty far. I know he's had a lot of hype after the season with the draft combine and everything going on with that, but not too loaded up. I don't think. I really don't love this draft class. I don't really. Dallas has a late pick, so I haven't really looked into the draft that much. You look into this way more than I do, but yeah, I couldn't see Will Levis going first overall. That'd be pretty incredible.
There's a couple teams. I know you said you couldn't. I know you stumbled and said you could see there could be 5 quarterbacks go in the top 10, but like there's certain. I'm looking at a couple mock drafts right now, and like they don't have the Raiders picking a quarterback. But tell me why the Las Vegas Raiders should rely on Jimmy Garoppolo for the future and not draft one of these quarterbacks if, say, a C.J. Stroud falls to 7.
I personally like Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, if you look at his numbers, so I saw something that was like if you put his stats up to like a Hall of Famer's, his are like probably better with his win percentage and just his overall success in his career. Aside from the accolades, he has one of the best numbers there is. And I know he's been in some good situations. He was in a Brady Belichick scheme up in New England when he was playing up there whenever Brady was hurt. He's had an awesome team in San Francisco for a few years, but I don't know. If you're gonna pay, they paid him a good amount of money, did they not?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I can't see them just dropping a check on this guy, and then just going up and wasting your 7th overall pick on a quarterback. I mean, we've seen teams do it before. We watched the Packers draft Jordan Love, and you have Aaron Rodgers coming off an MVP. But I guess you could say that you're not going to look at Jimmy Garoppolo as a long-term quarterback, maybe a temporary situation, because he's the type of quarterback to just jump around. But I don't know. I don't think this is the class to. Who would you want? Who would you think that they would pick if they fell far enough?
Who? Meaning
like
the Raiders?
Who do you think the Raiders should pick if they fell far enough?
I think if there's a situation where not necessarily Levis, because I think there's a chance where he slides, but I mean, I think if like a CJ Stroud is sitting there, I don't know who the Colts are necessarily set on going with, but like I feel like if CJ Stroud slides out of the top 5, I want Seattle to take Jalen Carter if he's there at 5. It's always a big if with the draft. I feel like I have to say that before everything, but I think if the Raiders can get to 7, or if CJ Stroud can get to 7, I think you have to kind of take the chance on him there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I like Jimmy Garoppolo though. A lot of people aren't as high in him as I am. But yeah. I mean, I guess if the value's there. That's the thing about this draft is that there's a lot of quarterbacks that can go that high. So when one does drop that low, I mean, there's going to be 1 or 2 of them that drop out of the top 10.
Absolutely.
It just happens every year. I could see it being C.J. Stroud too, because it was 18% on his whatever P2, whatever it is.
S2 test.
S2, yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got on the draft. Nothing much other than that.
Same.
Alrighty, I think that's going to wrap up everything we have this week. Lots to look forward to in the NHL, MLB, NFL, NBA. You know, everything is moving in their own direction. NHL and NBA in the playoffs, NFL offseason with the draft. So lots to look forward to in the coming weeks. And make sure to follow us so you know when we drop the link for our DraftKings prize pool. Again, $1,500 prize. Top 3 winners of the pool win. Free to enter, and the link will be available upon the Stanley Cup Finals matchup being determined. Real excited about that. You guys got anything else to add? I think that's going to do it for this week.
Not much else coming from me. Once again, thanks to Siggie for joining us this week. It was a great interview. Definitely going to be looking to get her back on the podcast sometime soon. Not much else coming from me, but like you said, make sure you subscribe, like, follow wherever you're at. Show us the support on social media. We'll keep getting the plays out. And that's going to do it for me this week, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, just keep looking for plays, like, retweet, anything helps. Looking to heat up here. I know we've been a little steady for a while, but there's a hump that's coming soon. So.
And that's going to do it for us on this episode of Hit the Books. Thank you to everyone who tunes in each and every week. Without you, we wouldn't be able to do what we do here. So please like, share, and subscribe wherever you can. And don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for our plays each and every night in the NHL, NFL, MLB, NBA, college basketball, and college football. Thank you again, and see you next week.